All right, welcome in everyone. Today we're taking a deep dive into something pretty powerful, I think.
Yeah,
The power of consistency. I know a lot of you out there, you're interested in this whole self-improvement thing,
absolutely.
and you're looking for that connection with faith and how those two work together.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's where this book we're diving into today comes in. The power of consistency. How small daily habits transform your faith and life. Okay, so let's unpack this.
Okay.
How can these small, everyday actions, the kind we often overlook, actually make a big difference in our lives? I'm really curious.
Well, it's so fascinating because this whole idea of consistency, it's not just some like trendy self-help thing.
Right.
This book, it goes deep, right? It shows how consistency is rooted in the Bible, how it's like woven through scripture.
Oh, wow. So it's not just about hitting goals in our everyday world, but it's about something bigger too.
Exactly. It's that connection to something larger than ourselves.
Hmm.
And there's that verse, Galatians 6:9, that really hits home.
Okay.
It says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." So it's not about expecting miracles overnight, It's about the steady work, the effort we put in day after day.
I can already see how that would be so encouraging for me personally.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm working towards something challenging, I get impatient. I want to see results right away.
Oh, I totally get it.
So that's a good reminder.
It is, and it's like, think of it like training for a marathon, right? You wouldn't just expect to wake up one day and run 26 miles, right?
Oh, way.
It takes consistent training. It takes those daily runs to build up to it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So you see that in the Bible, too.
Oh, really?
The book talks about Daniel, whose commitment to prayer was just unshakable. Like, even when he was threatened with punishment, he wouldn't stop.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't just about the act of prayer itself. It was the discipline, the consistency that showed how deep his faith was.
It was like built in.
Yeah, and that led to his spiritual strength.
Wow. I mean, that's a powerful image,
It is.
of dedication. Makes me wonder if I could bring that same kind of commitment to my own goals.
Oh, you absolutely can. And that brings us to another big point from the book. It's this idea of small habits, consistently practiced. This is where it gets really practical, especially for those of us who feel overwhelmed by, big, ambitious goals.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people.
Right. You want to change everything at once, and it can feel paralyzing.
Totally.
Well, research shows that even tiny changes, when you do them consistently, can lead to huge transformations over time.
Really?
Yeah. It's because of something called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on what we do repeatedly. So even small habits, they create new pathways in the brain, leading to lasting change.
So it's like you're building a bridge brick by brick
Exactly.
until suddenly you can cross this huge chasm.
That's a great way to put it.
It's encouraging.
It is.
So do you have any examples of what are those small habits that can actually lead to those big changes?
Oh, absolutely. Think about like 5 minutes of daily prayer or even just meditation.
All right.
Or maybe reading one verse from the Bible each morning.
Yeah.
It could even be as simple as a daily gratitude practice. These are small things.
Small steps.
Yeah, but imagine doing them over weeks, months, even years. It really adds up.
That's incredible. Yeah.
It is. And that reminds me of something else, this connection between faith and self-discipline.
Yeah, I've always been intrigued by that because sometimes it feels like two separate things.
It can, but the book emphasizes that self-discipline is actually the bridge between your faith and your actions.
Okay.
It's a reminder that faith isn't passive. It needs action to really come alive.
I love that. It's like faith is the fuel, but self-discipline is the engine that makes things move.
Perfect analogy. And James 2.17 sums it up beautifully. It says, "Faith without works is dead." Now, when it says works, it doesn't just mean like chores or tasks.
Right.
It means actions that demonstrate your faith, the outward expressions of what you believe.
It's putting it into practice.
Exactly.
So to all of you listening, it's worth asking yourself, what are your values?
Yeah.
And what small achievable goals aligned with those values can you set?
Right. What resonates with you?
Maybe it's spending more time in nature or deepening your spiritual practice. It can be anything.
As long as it's meaningful to you.
Exactly.
Mhm.
What matters is choosing something small and then doing it consistently day after day.
That's the key. And speaking of challenges, the book also acknowledges that life rarely goes according to plan.
Oh, tell me about it.
We face setbacks, right? Obstacles that kind of throw us off track.
Ugh. Yes, I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Big time. Like I'll be doing great with a new habit and then bam,
Yeah.
something knocks me off course.
Happens to the best of us.
And it's so discouraging, you know?
It is. It's totally normal to feel that way. But this is where faith becomes a source of resilience, a reminder that you're not alone in this journey.
Yeah. Whenever I feel like giving up, I always think of that verse, Philippians 4:3.
We can do all things.
Through Christ who strengthens me. But sometimes, I'll be honest, it feels more like a cheesy motivational poster than something I can really count on.
I get it, but I think if we connect it to the bigger picture, it becomes less about achieving the impossible on our own
Okay.
and more about trusting in something larger than ourselves, even when things get tough. It's a reminder to lean on your faith for that strength, to keep going, and to know that even those seemingly impossible things, they become possible with consistent effort and a little faith.
Wow, that's a much more empowering way to look at it.
Isn't it? And it reminds me that we're not just working on ourselves in isolation.
No.
Our actions, they have this ripple effect, you know?
They go beyond us.
Exactly. And the book talks about this, the ripple effect of consistency. Your commitment to these habits, both personal and spiritual, they influence everyone around you.
Yeah, I've noticed that, like, when I'm feeling more grounded and consistent, my family feels it too.
It creates a different atmosphere.
It really does. It's calmer, more positive.
That's beautiful. And think about this. How does your growth influence your family, your community, even future generations?
Yeah.
We become role models, you know, showing that resilience, that faith, inspiring others on their own journeys.
That's pretty inspiring. You know, so much of life feels chaotic, unpredictable.
It does.
But to know that we can create these like ripples of positive change just through our consistent actions, that's powerful.
It really is. And you know, one last thought to ponder.
Okay, I'm ready.
The book focuses on individual growth, but what if we applied this principle of consistent action to collective efforts, you know? Imagine what a community could achieve if they consistently work together
Wow.
towards a shared goal, driven by a common faith and vision.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities when we work together.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a challenge. What one small, consistent habit will you start today to create lasting transformation in your life?
Yeah, what's that one thing?
Choose something meaningful, something you can stick with, and let the power of consistency work its magic. You got this.
You do.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.
Bye, everyone.